This morning, real early, I couldn't sleep, so I was out on my scooter because my truck is impounded for driving on a suspended license, and my license is suspended because I got 3 DUIs. And anyways, the cop took me away in cuffs, and the judge let me go after I sat in a room with 15 other guys, and everybody was sitting down or laying down, standing up. It was so small, couldn't believe it. They all smelled. I just looked around just like, where am I? Are you kidding me? And yeah, it's just, one thing after another, all because of me wanting to do stuff like that, rail up the painkillers that I'm getting before I go down to Mexico. I just know I won't feel it the same if I just swallow. And I don't know, just don't have really the discipline to just obey, I guess, what the doctor said. What do they call it? Self-prescribing, or whatever. I'm a little bit messed up right now, so that's why I'm a little groggy. But also, I just got in a big old fight with my dad at my house. He's regulating my pills, and I told him I want to have 6 in hand, ready for the next day and stuff. And he was just giving me 5 pills, and we just kept arguing, and I don't know, just one of those frustrating deals. And then of course we get up in each other's faces, making threats, and it's just back to the same old shit. Same old shit.
I guess I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was going to be for. I went in there kind of blind, frankly, and I just, I thought it was going to help. I believed in what the doctors and what I had read, but nobody really talked to me about how it's going to be right after. They said a lot of the same things I've heard over the years through rehabs and stuff, friends, environment, triggers. Some of those were touched on, but I wasn't prepared for my whole mind to be reset. I grew up in a prosperous situation where, you know, affluent people were all around me. And my dad and other family members, uncles, they would talk business around me. And I started my first quest when I was like 12, and I opened up a candy store. So, you know, people would always tell me that I had, you know, great potential. You don't think it could happen to you. You think that's for junkies, and that's for lower class. That's for not this side of town. And there I was in my parents' big house in a gated neighborhood, and it just happens. It's an equal opportunity problem. The first time I ever used, I was 14 years old, and I had smoked marijuana and didn't like it. You know, wasn't great, but you know, I was just a curious kid. I lived in a pretty strict household, very religious parents and religious culture all around, and they don't tolerate drinking and drugs and things like that. You know, I didn't feel like I was a bad person, but I just was an experimenter, kind of a rule breaker, and ever since I was little. All through high school, you know, I dabbled, you know, parties and things like that, but never got attached to anything. But then come college time, when you're actually kind of dealing with the real world, then soon enough I found myself every single day. My tolerance had gone up. I was using different kinds of drugs to come down from the stimulant that I was taking. And then all of a sudden, there wasn't much of a line between, you know, all this and cocaine. So I crossed over into that realm. And that one, you know, it's not very friendly. You know, once that vice had a hold of me, you know, I was not one of those functional addicts that we hear about. Being a recluse and being depressed, and, you know, you're dealing with people with guns and wrong neighborhoods and people who wouldn't care to kill you for your money, and the predicaments you would allow yourself to get in. I mean, just unbelievable when you think about it sober. I mean, it's literally insane. I was on a certain drug that really owned me, and it was really tough to get off of. And I checked into a detox center just to get off of it. And I checked in, and, you know, did a few days there, and I checked out early and said, I'll do this at home, and thought it was kind of a waste of time. And this drug was too tough. It was too tough, and I was in fetal position at my house, and it wasn't getting better. There was no subsiding. And so a family friend, a doctor who heard about my case and my situation, said, whoa, hey, you know, that's crazy. You can't go off it that quick. And he's the one who told me about Ibogaine. It's a psychedelic drug that they use. It's a West African root. And I thought it sounded a little, you know, holistic, and something that, you know, there's no way it can take opiates out of your system. But, you know, these doctors that I met with, and I trusted them, and they told me to my face that they had gone down there and seen miracles happen.
never cease to be amazed and blown away by the transformation that can be achieved in a matter of 3 days. It's remarkable because there's nothing in Western medicine that even comes close to it. Their face changes, their eyes get clear, their mind becomes calm and steadier. And when somebody would be normally jumping off the wall, anxious and thinking about how to get the next fix, they're just at peace, sitting in their room and reflecting on their experience. So it's an extremely valuable tool.
The ocean is a great metaphor for addiction in many ways. At some points, the ocean is really rough and rocky, and it can be very tough, and it can be very scary and dark. And then at other times, the ocean becomes very calm and very light. And what happens with addiction is it's this process of recovery, relapse, recovery, relapse. It's kind of the same as the waves coming in and going out and coming in and going out. The ocean seems to come in sets of waves, whereas you'll get a big set that comes in and can just knock you down time after time after time. And this can take someone very deep into addiction. And in this space, it seems like it's just never going to stop. Every time I get up, another wave knocks me down. But what happens in this process of recovery is that the waves start to calm, and you start to see this peace, you start to see this cooling, and the sunshine comes out and shines on you. You start to connect with the light, and then here comes recovery.
It was like just a miracle happened, really. All of a sudden, coming out of this treatment, and I like the guy I see in the mirror. I'm peaceful right now. I'm more grateful now, for little things. And, while using, you're not thinking about gratitude or anything like that. You're just looking for the next high. And to be relieved of those chains it's amazing. It's great with each member of my family. Have those old relationships that I used to. I'm starting to look at things with vision in it and just a whole new perception. And you feel like you actually have your life back in your hands for the first time.